Joining us now is terrorism analyst Tom Makaitis. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Tom.
Good morning.
What impact might this have? And if Hamas has, I don't know, 20,000 fighters, is it possible to eliminate Hamas?
That's a question more and more people are asking. And given that many of them, as we just saw, are not even located inside of Gaza, particularly senior political leaders who are in Qatar, it's looking a bit more doubtful. The implications are the fear of a wider war. Because this particular individual was the link between, or a principal liaison between Hezbollah and Hamas, and also between Iran and Hamas. So we're already seeing an escalation in the Red Sea through the Houthi, which is another Iranian proxy militia, increased attacks on U.S. service personnel in Iraq by Shia militias linked to Iran. So this is a cause for concern. On the other hand, I'm critical of Israel's handling of Gaza, but I can't fault them. He was a legitimate military target, and this is an example of the focused use of force we've been calling for. It just happens to have been in a country that is not directly involved in this conflict, at least not officially.
Yesterday, we were reporting the withdrawal of some Israeli troops out of Gaza, just seeming like a pause in the action to give troops a rest. What is the progress there, and how long do you see this going on?
I don't know that it's pausing the action as a change in the approach. Some speculation that Netanyahu's finally responding to U.S. and international pressure to take a more surgical approach. The fact is they've dominated so much of the north and center of the country. It's not clear how much a mass of troops can really accomplish. And they are seriously hurting the Israeli economy because they're taking so many. I mean, this is a conscript army. Unlike most, it's not a volunteer force. So you're taking a lot of people out of the Israeli workforce, and they've already lost the Palestinian labor. So that's part of what's behind this. But I just don't know that there's much more they can accomplish. Israel is still bombing in the south, and it's now doing the difficult task of trying to rout these people out from tunnels and various other strong points.
Tom, the New York Times had an investigation of the weaponization by Hamas of sexual assault and rape of women. Why haven't we heard more of that and condemnation by the United Nations and others?
I don't think the full details were immediately released, and there was an unfortunate confluence of circumstances by way of verification. To respect the dignity of victims and religious, Jewish religious burial laws, many of them were interred very quickly without forensic investigation. There was no outside verification, although the video evidence is compelling. I don't think there's any doubt that it happened, but I think that contributed to a certain amount of denial. And we live in a world in which there's no objective fact. People believe what they choose to and what already fits their narrative.
Tom Makaitis, we appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.